Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet a violin, which was a request I received. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, the large one, the size is 12 centimeters wide by 20 centimeters or 5 inches wide by 8 inches. The medium violin crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook is 10 centimeters wide by 14.5 centimeters or 4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches. The small violin, crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook, is 7 centimeters wide by 10 centimeters or 2 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches. I'll be using Catona cotton, so the size will be a bit smaller than the large one. I'll tell you the size at the end of the video. I'll be using Catona cotton. I've got 254 Moon Rock, 162 Black Coffee, 242 Metal Grey, 110 Black and 130 Old Lace. I've got scissors, a darning needle to weave in the ends, a 2.5mm crochet hook, sewing thread and a needle to stitch it together, and I've got a fine crochet cotton and a creamy cotton for the strings. You could just use a fine sewing thread for the strings if you'd prefer. Now we're starting on the body of the violin, just at the top of the narrower side. I've got my 254, the Moon Rock, and we start with 8 chain. Now we're going to have a curved top, so for the first row we're going to use different stitches. We're going to work one single crochet in the second chain from the hook. A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet, put your hook into the chain, the second from the hook, and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through both loops. Then we work one half double crochet into the next chain. That's a half treble using UK terms. For a half double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the next chain and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook and take the hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we work one double crochet into the following chain. That's a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the next chain and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook, take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then we work one treble into the next chain. That's a double treble using UK terms. For a treble, we put the yarn around the hook twice, hook into the next chain and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook, take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then we work one double crochet into the next chain. One half double crochet into the following chain, and one single crochet into the last chain. And we have a curve at the top of our work. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into our first stitch. 1 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches, and 2 single crochet into the last stitch. We've got 9 stitches now. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches, and 2 single crochet into the last stitch. For row 4, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 11 stitches. For row 5, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. For row 6, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 11 stitches. For row 7, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. And that's the top part done. We're going to dip our work in a bit now. So we turn our work and we're going to work 1 slip stitch into each of the first 3 stitches. For a slip stitch, we put our hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. And 1 in each of the next 2 stitches as well. And then work 1 chain and work 1 single crochet in the same stitch as our last stitch, slip stitch, the 3rd stitch, and then work 1 single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. There are 2 stitches left, we miss those. For row 9, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 7 stitches. For row 10, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. For row 11, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 7 stitches. For row 12, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. And 2 single crochet into the last stitch. For row 13, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches, and 2 single crochet into the last stitch, and then work 2 chain. For row 14, we work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then 1 single crochet in each of the 11 stitches. And then work 2 chain. For row 15, we work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches. For row 16, we start with 1 chain and turn, we're going to work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches. So put your hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop. There's 3 loops on the hook. Put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Then work 1 single crochet in each of the next 9 stitches. And a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. So put your hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the last stitch and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. For row 17, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, then 1 single crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. And 2 single crochet into the last stitch. For row 18, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each of the next 11 stitches. And 2 single crochet into the last stitch. For row 19, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 15 stitches. For row 20, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet into each stitch. For row 21, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in each of the next 11 stitches, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 22, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches. 1 single crochet in each of the next 9 stitches. And a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 23, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into each of the following 7 stitches. That's a treble using UK terms. So 1 double crochet into each of the following 7 stitches. One half double crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into the last stitch. The different stitches just gives it a curved edge again, but not as curved as the top. Now for the neatening row, we're going to be working single crochets around, but in these corners, 1 there, and just at the top here, 1 there and 1 there, we're going to work 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet. So start with 1 chain and just find a suitable place, not too far from the edge, to put your hook and work 1 single crochet in each stitch, just up to this little point here. Now into this stitch here we work 1 single crochet, then 1 chain and 1 single crochet into that same stitch, and then work 1 single crochet in each stitch around this curved part. Now in this stitch at the edge here, we work 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet, and then just work 1 single crochet in each stitch around to this next edge. So I'll work that little bit off camera and I'll be back when we get to this next point. Now I'm back to this next corner. Into there I work 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet, and then work 1 single crochet in each stitch down round this dip. Now into this next corner here we work one single crochet, one chain and one single crochet, and then just work one single crochet in each stitch back to the beginning of the row there. And then slip stitch into the first stitch and fasten off. And that's the body of the violin done. I'll weave in this end and then I'll be back with my darker brown and we'll just work the contrast row around it. Now for this contrast you can join in any stitch. I like to join in a corner in a chain. Now I don't join through both loops, just the back loop, the outside loop. And we start with one chain and work one slip stitch in the same stitch as the join. So put the hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. Then we're going to work one slip stitch in each stitch around to the next corner into that chain stitch we work between the two single crochets. I'm just working into the outside loops. And then into the chain between the two single crochet, just do one slip stitch, one chain quite tightly and one slip stitch in there. So we're doing a slip stitch, a chain quite tightly and then another slip stitch, and then just work one slip stitch in each stitch around to the next chain, and we work a slip stitch, one chain and one slip stitch into that chain at the corner and the same there, and then just work back to our last stitch. I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. Now I'm back to the last stitch before my join. I work one slip stitch into the same stitch as my first stitch and then slip stitch into the chain and fasten off. And that's the body part done. Now for this neck part I've got my 242, the metal grey, and we start with 22 chain. Remiss the first chain and work one single crochet into each of the next 2 chain, and then 1 half double crochet into each of the following 5 chain. Then we work 1 double crochet into each remaining chain. That's a treble using UK terms. So 1 double crochet into each remaining chain. And once we get to the end, we fasten off. And that's the first part of the neck bit. Now we're going to do the edging. I've got my 162, the black coffee, and I join just in the back of the first chain. So just into here, and just work 1 chain reasonably tightly, and then we're going to slip stitch in the back of each chain. Don't pull them too tight, we want it to stay flat. Now I've just worked into the back of the last chain. I work 1 chain and slip stitch in to the back of that last chain again, and then slip stitch in the other side, and then work 1 chain and slip stitch into that same stitch, and then work 1 slip stitch in just the outside loop of each stitch. We're just going down the side. We won't go along the bottom part there, just to the top of the last double crochet. And I've just worked into the last one, so we fasten off. And that's the neck part so far. Now there's just a little thing just at the top of the neck, just there. To work that, I've got my 254, the moon rock, the lighter brown, and I join in the middle of the narrow part. I'm just going to join in the back loop only. So just in there, work 2 chain, and work 4 half double crochet in that same stitch as the join. Work 2 chain and slip stitch in that same stitch and fasten off. And that's the neck part done. Now we've got these 4 peg things at the end of the neck. I'll make 2 on camera. I've got my 162, the black coffee, and we start with a magic loop. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I just put my hook on the yarn, bring the short end over the hook and then the long end over the short end to make a circle. Yarn around the hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle. Then we work 1 chain, work 2 single crochet into our circle, work 1 chain and slip stitch into the circle and pull our circle tight. So we take hold of the tail and just ease it in, and then work 2 chain and then fasten off, leaving a longer tail to attach it to the neck part. So we make a magic loop and work 1 chain, work 2 single crochet into the circle, 1 chain and slip stitch into the circle, pull the circle tight and then work 2 chain and fasten off, leaving a longer tail. And I'll work 2 more off camera. Now for the bow, I've got my 162, the black coffee, to start with, and we start with 40 chain. Now we miss the first chain and work 1 slip stitch in each of the next 2 chain. We work one chain and work one half double crochet into the next chain. Work 2 chain and slip stitch in the same stitch as the half double crochet, and then we're going to work 1 slip stitch in each chain until we have 2 chain left. Work your slip stitch fairly loose if you can, because we'll be working some single crochet into them with our cream. Now I've got 2 stitches left. I work 1 chain and work 1 half double crochet into each of the last 2 chain, and fasten off. And that's the first part of the bow done. Now for this cream part of the bow, we join our 130, the old lace, just in the top of the chain. We've got the 2 slip stitches, then the half double crochet and the chain, so just in the top there. And we work 1 single crochet in each of our slip stitches, so just through the 1 loop there, and I'm working over this tail. and one single crochet in the last slip stitch, and then just slip stitch just in the top of the first half double crochet there and fasten off. And that's the bow done. Now for this chin rest part, I start with the metal grey and then join in the black. So I've got my 242, the metal grey, and we start with 6 chain. We work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 chain, and 1 single crochet into the last chain, and then pull out a loop of your metal grey and just leave it there. We'll use this for the neatening row, and join in your black in the missed chain from the beginning. Now I like to leave a long tail at the beginning to use for the neatening row. So we don't need an awful lot. It depends on what weight yarn you're using as to how much you need. And leave that at the side there. Work 1 chain, work 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the following stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and 1 single crochet into the last stitch. And then I just put the loop of the metal grey on and just bring it through the black. And this black can be fastened off the black that we've just finished with. And now we're going to work a neatening row of slip stitches round our work. So just slip stitch in each stitch of the metal grey, slip stitch quite loosely. And then when you get up to the black, just leave your metal grey there and bring through a loop of black and take it through the loop of metal grey on your hook, and then work 1 slip stitch in each stitch up to where we started our neatening row. Just in there, and fasten off. And that's the chin rest. For this tail piece, I'm starting with the black this time. I've got my 110, the black, and we start with a magic loop. We start with 1 chain and work 1 single crochet into our circle and pull the circle tight. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet into the stitch. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 2 single crochet into our stitch. For row 4, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet into each of the 2 stitches. For row 5 we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 2 single crochet into the last stitch. For row 6 we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet into each of the 3 stitches. And now we join in our metal grey. So just put a loop over your hook and pull it through the black loop and work 1 chain and turn, and for row 7 we work 1 single crochet in each of the 3 stitches. And for row 8 we work 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. And we fasten off. And that's the tail piece worked. Now that's all the pieces worked, so I'll weave in my ends. I'll work 2 more pegs and then I'll be back and we'll put it together. There's the pieces. I've got the body, the tail piece, the chin rest, the neck, the pegs and the bow. The first things I'll do is attach the tail piece just at the bottom there along the thicker end, and I'll attach the pegs to each side to the top of the neck part. Now from this one there's a little string goes from the end of it across to the end of the neck, so that top bit of the neck. So I just stitch a little line across from there, and from the one under it I stitch a line from the top of it to the top of the second one down from that, so from there to there. So I'll do that and I'll be back. Next we attach the neck to the body part, so just in the center there, and it goes down to just above where it starts to dip in, so about there, and we attach the chin rest just in close to the tail piece, so the bottom goes round the edge of the body, so in there. Next I'm going to stitch the strings on. I've got 4 strings. One goes from the top of the tail piece just in there to just the top of the grey, then one the other side from there to there, and then 2 in the middle. Now I'll stitch them on like that, and then I get fine thread and just stitch over the top of the strings to hold them down a bit. The next thing I'll do is embroider on this bridge. It just goes probably along this line there, but just past the strings, probably from about there to there. I'll use this old lace, just a tiny bit of that to embroider that on, and then we've got 2 F-holes. They go around and down and up again, just like that. I'll embroider them on the sides here. I'll use the black coffee, so this darker brown cotton. You will be able to see how I've done them easier on the website. I'll have a link in the description below. The last thing you do is just put the bow behind the violin like that. And there's the finished violin. The size is 11 centimeters wide by 16 centimeters, or 4¼ inches wide by 6½ inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Patreon. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my website where I have my patterns and the details of my Facebook group. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.